All right. We are live. My name's Steve Bailey. I'm the owner of a company called Punch in the Face Marketing. We do inbound marketing. And today on the other line, we have the Traffic Ninja. So Keith, go ahead and tell us a little about yourself and what you do.
Hey guys. So I'm Keith Breseé. I am the founder of the Traffic.Ninja, where I blog about any way you can think of to get traffic. And I help my clients get traffic, and the core of my whole strategy of what I do is content promotion that yields SEO effects via backlinks. That's the roundabout way of putting it.
Perfect. So backlinks, let's talk about first, what is a backlink, Keith?
So anytime someone asks me, so how does Google work? Which I've been asked before. And they ask, or someone asks me about a backlink, this is my response to them. So think about a popularity contest, and whoever has the most votes wins, in a sense. And so a backlink is basically a vote. But to what an actual backlink is, so Steven, you have punchinthefacemarketing.com, right? And then I have the Traffic.Ninja. So you have a site, I have a site. And anytime you come across a piece of text with a like a hyperlink where the text is blue, and you can click on it and it'll take you to another website, that is an actual backlink. And the backlink is generally, the better ones are when the owner of the website puts them in, versus like in the comments versus or editorial versus comments sort of thing. Yep. And those backlinks are votes, so to speak. That's the easiest way to put it in Google's eyes. Now, obviously, no backlink is created equal. You can have tens of thousands of backlinks, and they're all trashy. You don't want them. These are the backlinks that are going to get you penalties, going to get you banned from Google. But then there's other backlinks that 2 or 3 of them, depending on your keyword difficulty, could get you at the top of a ranking for certain keywords. So there are different obvious types of or quality levels of backlinks. And so yeah, kind of think of the most popular in school voting for you versus the snitch in school voting for you. Who would you rather have your vote on your side, right? That's kind of how I think about it.
Right, yeah, good. That's perfect, because I think sometimes people start thinking backlinks, and like you said, it's pretty simple. You're just trying to get some sort of vote to your website and say, hey,
right,
this is good quality content. So that's one of the reasons, my company, we do inbound marketing. So we try to create the content that is going to get those backlinks, right? So that's what we always do with our clients, is we say, okay, in order to get the backlinks and get these votes, we want to create the best quality content possible, so that way we can continue to get more and more links and ultimately move up in the SEO rankings. And that's the whole goal. So so you kind of talked about quality backlinks. Can you explain that a little bit more for anyone that may not know what you're talking about?
Yeah. So when I'm doing my prospecting to figure out where I want to get my backlinks from, I could start on the 50th page of Google for a certain keyword. Let's say how to do SEO for beginners. So I type in how to do SEO for beginners in Google, and I go to the 50th page, or maybe in the 100th page, as far back as I can, and I figure out what they have. And normally, and I've done this, those backlinks tend to be sites that have incredibly poor design. For example, if you go to Pat Flynn's site, smartpassiveincome.com, I think that's what it is. His design of his blog and his website is incredible. Or Entrepreneur on Fire, John Lee Dumas. Those are incredibly designed websites. But if you go to some of these 50 plus 100 page back on a certain result on keyword, the design tends to be early 2000s-ish look, and it just like AdSense ads are everywhere, which is nothing bad with that, but like it feels very spammy. So anytime I come across a site like that, those are like, okay, we're done, moving on, sort of thing. But Next. If I got a right, so but like you and I are in the marketing world, online marketing world. So if I got a link from the Moz blog, Moz.com, and Rand Fishkin just did a article and he linked to me, or Neil Patel on one of his sites, whether it's neilpatel.com or QuickSprout, if he links to me there, oh my goodness. And the reason it's a oh my goodness sort of response is because, one, he's an influencer, and he has influencer in our niche. And so one, his design is great. His content is top notch. Neil Patel, I mean, or any of these other influencers. But the big thing is relevance. That's the number one thing I look for outside of design when I'm gauging whether or not I want to backlink from other sites. And of course, there are other things that I look at, but design, what's the word? How new? How? What's the words eluding me? How current? Thank you. How current a site is, the design, the current, and how current it is, and the relevance of it. So a link from you, neither of us are exactly influencers, but a link from you, great. Any day of the week, I would love that, because why? You have great design. You have some amount of authority in Google's eyes. Like if I were to go to your site right now and look at all the analytics of it from the stuff that I have access to, and trying to research the quality of your site, you're going to have great statistics. Like you're going to have great domain authority and great page authority on a lot of your different things. The content will be top notch, and that is the kind of stuff you want to look at. But relevancy is arguably one of the biggest things. And what I mean by that is, let's say I write an article about apples and how to use them to make applesauce, right? Fair and simple. And I am an authority on apples, right? And I get a link from someone who else writes about apples all the time. That's super relevant. Or like a next level down sort of relevancy. This is how I think about it. Like a B level sort of relevancy would be like someone who writes about fruit all the time. It's not directly apples, but it's fruit, and apples are part of fruit, obviously. Next level down would be fruit health food. Apples are health foods. They're great. An apple a day keeps the doctor away, right? And so you got apples, then you got fruit, then you got health food, then you can just say food. And then I'm sure you could break that down into several other more categories. But you want it as relevant as possible. So like you're internet marketing, I'm internet marketing. You do inbound stuff. I think you could label what I do inbound-ish, or I do inbound type stuff.
Yep.
It's part of it for sure. So a link from you would be great. But a link from a spamming guy who does ads and his site has 2005 design on it, I would be scared. I would do what I can. I would honestly do what I can to get that link off.
Yep.
Even delete.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we always tell our clients is we try to do some backlinks and things, not to the extent that you guys do. So we try to create the content to get them, but we're always trying to look for people within the same industry, partners. Like one of the times we were working with a mortgage company, and we're like, okay, do you have any partners, real estate agents, title agencies, anything like that that's in at least the same industry that maybe you guys can kind of share some links or kind of do something back and forth, do a guest blog post on each, something of that nature, because they are so relevant. Not trying to get that same mortgage company to get a link from, like a grocery store, right? I mean, that has nothing to do with mortgages. So, but yeah, try to keep within that same industry, people that have the same kind of common theme as you're going with. So,
right.
Perfect. Yeah. So, walk us through kind of what you do. I mean, you kind of alluded to it a little bit, but as you're looking for backlinks and you're looking for relevance, and kind of take us through your process a little bit.
Is there any particular aspect of it that you're
I guess just like the research portion, when you kind of start doing the research, like I want to get a backlink. Say you create a blog post, and you're like, I need to get a backlink to this blog post. Kind of what do you start to look for?
Okay, well, it starts with the quality of the content, and I can't emphasize the importance of that enough. Let me say that again. It starts with the quality of the content. Not that you don't know that, obviously, that everyone watching it will understand that.
Yep.
And here's an example why. I've done and still do oftentimes backlinks, content promotion stuff for Brian Harris of videofruit.com. Lives here in Nashville, great friend. And when I do a outreach for him that I'm going after to get backlinks, it always works amazing. For example, he did a piece of content, I want to say, and it was the end of the year last year, 2014. And I got, in 1 week's time, 23 really, really good backlinks. These backlinks, just the traffic from the backlinks alone, without any jump in rankings in Google, the traffic from those backlinks alone got him 2,500 new visitors, and right around 400 new email subscribers in a week.
Not bad.
And then I know we were happy. And then that post went on to later rank for. We haven't been keeping up on that particular post, so it's dropped in rankings, but it got to the 3rd position in Google for the keyword lead magnet. And it got up to, just from the SEO aspect of it, it got up to, I want to say it's 1,100, 1,300 social shares. And today it's brought in, I want to say right around total 1,000 email subscribers. And so, and that was just from one outreach that yielded 23 backlinks. In the first week, and that's it. But then,
so when you do outreach, what do you do?
Okay, I find other people who have written about similar content that clearly link out to other people. Like Neil Patel, he links out like to almost 100 people on every post that he does. It's ridiculous, at least on neilpatel.com. And so I want to make sure linking to people. I want to make sure their site is relevant. I want to make sure that it's a site I would like a backlink from. And I basically go in, I find the person's email that would best be fit to give me the backlink. And I basically email them saying, hey, I saw you link to this post over here that's on topic A. I actually have a piece of content that's better or just as good or more current or something along that line. You may consider linking to us. You want to see it? And then if they say yes, I'll send them the link. And ask for the backlink, and out of for every 100 emails that I send out like that, that will yield anywhere from 7 to 12%. It really just depends. And for email marketing, in the email marketing world, even 7% conversions is really good. Yeah. And so, like that post I told you about a minute ago that yielded 23 backlinks, that was 23. No, I sent out 98 emails for that.
Wow.
We were really happy with it.
That's good for an open rate, not just a click-through rate.
Yeah, the open rate. I'm able to track all these. I use. I just started using Sidekick with HubSpot, but I've been using Yesware for the email tracking and the mail merge aspect, where I can send all of these out, all these emails out like that, and I'm able to track the open rates and all that kind of stuff. So that's really, really beneficial for me because I can test which headlines work and different things like that. So I know Tuesdays and Thursdays with the subject line, first name, quick question, or quick question, first name. Either of those will get on average of 50% on the low end and 70% on the high end on open rates. And those open rates I'm personally happy with. So yeah, but back to your question a minute ago when you were talking about the research aspect of it is arguably one of the hardest parts. So once you've done the content creation, and you can go and Google how to create content that drives traffic, and you'll find stuff. I'm on the second page right there.
Little plug. There you go.
I know, right? But no, honestly, Neil Patel has some great stuff on it. I want to say just the top 5 articles there on how to create content that drives traffic. You'll see how to structure content. OK Dork did a piece that's Noah Kagan's site, and there was actually a guest post by Brian Dean of backlinker.com. But so once you got your content, the great content is key, period. I can't emphasize that enough, like I said earlier. Once you have that, for finding people to ask for these links to, that's where it can get tricky. And it took me a while to get good at this. But so the core of what I do, a core of it revolves around 2 tools. And that's SEMrush and BuzzSumo, both very popular tools. And and then and then also Open Site Explorer by Moz. And so I will let me make sure I say all this right. So first, I will do a search. If I don't know any top marketing blogs, let's say I'm trying to get backlinks for myself, which I actually haven't done for my personal blog. Been too busy. But let's say I'm trying to get backlinks from internet marketing people. I will type in into Open Site Explorer I'm trying to think. So I know Neil Patel and backlinko.com. NeilPatel.com, quicksprout.com, and backlinko.com, all very authoritative sites that get tons of links and have high rankings. So I know those sites. But if you don't know what sites to try to find to reverse engineer their backlinks, a simple search string in Google would be top backlink or top blogs in your niche. So top marketing blogs, top health food blogs, top nutrition blogs, top DIY blogs, and any variation of that set of keywords. Best of 2015, best of 2014, best of 2015, and then your keyword blogs, or just various keyword search strings like that. And you'll find lists of people listing other people. You'll find Moz on there. You'll find Marketo, I think that's the name of it. HubSprout, a bunch of different people. You'll find all these names. So once you find a site that has a lot of authority to it, I'll take its just home URL, so like backlinko.com. I'll take it and enter it into Open Site Explorer. And what Open Site Explorer tells me is a bunch of analytics and statistics about their site and rankings and or their authority and things of that nature. But what I'm interested in is their top pages. So in Open Site Explorer, you'll see off to the left a set of other set of tabs, and you'll just click on top pages. And so I'll hit Open Site Explorer, enter backlinko.com, and I'll click top pages on the left. And that's going to show me all of the pages that have the most backlinks from the highest to the lowest. And I know that I think it's still in the top 3 of Brian Dean Backlinko. I think it's one of his top 3 most linked to articles. It's the 200 Google ranking factors. Mm-hmm. And I think it has 500-600 crazy backlinks. It's insane. And so I'm going to take that, and I'm going to download the spreadsheet from Open Site Explorer. I'm going to open it. This is my personal process. I open it in Google Docs, because what it does is it takes those links and makes them a hyperlink. That way I can just click on them versus opening them in Excel or Pages or Numbers. I'll have to copy the link over to my browser and then check it out. So I'm going to look for articles, and you'll be able to see there's the first column is the link. The second column is the titles. And so I'm going to look for the titles that have names that look like they're pretty relevant to mine or something very similar. So, and you'll just get a feel for it, and you'll see, okay, this is the article on a new update for a blog post. And I don't want an article. I don't want a link from those guys. But if it's something, how to create content that drives traffic by Neil Patel, of course I'm going to try to go after that link. Hey, Neil, will you send me a link over? Sort of thing. So I'm going to go through those sites, and I'm going to click on literally probably 80% of those links I click on. And this takes time. So I'm going to click on them. I'm going to go to the sites. Are they current? Is the design cool? Or current, if anything current. I'm going to look at their backlink profiles very briefly. I use Moz tools, Moz Pro a lot. Moz Pro and SEMrush and BuzzSumo are my top 3 paid tools that I use regularly. So I'm going to analyze very briefly their backlink profiles for, are they spamming? The big thing is I'm looking for a spamming. Okay. And so, and of course you can do really in-depth research on their backlink profiles, and you can spend forever doing that. But I find that it's more effective and efficient for me to just, okay, they have quick glance, they have good stuff, great. Usually that's going to yield really good stuff. versus if I spend a ton of time, the results I'm going to get from that time I spend really hardcore analyzing their backlink profiles, the time I put into it versus my ROI just isn't there.
Right.
So if I just glance at it real quickly, it'll work out. It's always worked out really well. So I find a site. They have the good design, all that kind of stuff I mentioned. They have an article that this is really important. Their blog has to be niche relevant, and the post that I think that a link to my site would be good in. So, for example, they wrote about apples and how to make applesauce. Great, that is super niche relevant. It's super relevant to mine, which is how to make apples with applesauce. So I'm going to send them a link or send them a email or asking for a backlink. And so at that point, I go finding either if it's someone like Moz or HubSpot, I'm going to either find an editor or something along that line. But if it's something like backlinko.com or neilpatel.com, you can tell what sites I read a lot. Those are one-man show, normally, blogs. So I'm going to have to email Brian Dean for that. I'm going to have to email Neil Patel for that link. So then I basically go, once I find the person to send the email to requesting the backlink, I will basically send them an email with the template I have. And I always try, I have these templates and they're very effective, but the ones that I get the most ROI from are the ones that I spend a little bit more time customizing these templates. For example, I have a template I'm doing a roundup post, and I have a template for it. I personally love the template. And the first top part of it is basically praising them for something that I know about these people or that I read about or whatever. And so I could just say, hey, Neil Patel, I really loved your post last week, or I've learned so much from your quicksprout.com, or I've learned so much from you, or whatever. Or I could say, I'm trying to think of an example.
Basically, you're just trying to personalize this email as much as you can. Just say, hey, I read this blog post. This is what I took from it. This is what I like from it.
Exactly. And then the rest is templatized for the most part. But the ones that I have put more time in personalizing, those are the ones that I tend to get better response rates, and better actual conversion rates and actual backlinks, because it starts to develop, to a certain degree, a relationship with them. And it's kind of like what John Jantz, if I'm saying his name right, of Duct Tape Marketing said, they have to know you, then they have to like you. I know this is like how to get people to buy from you, but it's still along the same line. Yeah. So you have to get them to know you, like you, trust you, and then they will buy from you. And then you want them to tell someone and then repeat. But so the first part of any sales aspect of them, they have to know about you, and that's what the email is doing. Then they have to like you, and then they have to trust you enough. So then they're going to like me, and they're going to figure out if they like me via that email, and then they're probably going to go to my site and check out my content and the design of all that kind of stuff. Okay, this guy's pretty legit. I trust him. And then they will be hopefully granting me that brain fart backlink.
Do you ever give some sort of like, hey, if you give me this backlink, let me know how I can return the favor? Because I get that a lot. I get a lot of people that are trying to get backlinks from my site. And so I was like, hey, if you backlink to this, I will give you some sort of social media promotion or something, or there's always something that they'll try to do as a return favor.
Totally. I've never done that myself, and I've experienced it with my client stuff, but those emails I personally just ignore. I've never tested it, but I have had people offer money and things of that nature, and I just don't. If they're willing to pay for it, then I have no idea the quality of their content, their site. Who knows how much if other people can buy their links, or if they're buying other people's links, who knows the quality of that stuff. So anytime I'm trying to get a backlink and money immediately comes in the conversation on their end, you're gone, out of my mind. All right, you're done. I don't even respond to them at that point.
And I think that's good to know, because usually when I get that stuff as a site owner for what we do, if I get a request like that, it's usually okay, you're only doing this. It seems spammy to me, right? It's very spammy. It's not. It doesn't fit to my audience. It doesn't fit to what I'm trying to do. They're just trying to get the backlink. So
exactly.
I think that's a great point.
That's key, because like a current client of mine, he was, before he actually officially hired me and paid me, he asked me so many questions. And he kept asking, well, why can't we just buy backlinks? And Google can't, if I were to ask you, hey, Steven, I'll give you $1,000 right now, I'll PayPal it to you, or I'll send you a money order thing from Western Union, Google's not going to be able to track that. There's no way Google's going to know that's a paid link. But the chances of, if I'm asking you for a link, if I'm asking you for a link and I'm willing to, and I'm offering money for it, the chances of me having a bad site and bad quality content, spammy stuff, there's a good chance of it. And so like this is, anytime I've done an outreach for someone in the real estate niche or finance niche and they have blogs, I will get huge open and response rates. Like I've gotten 80% open rates and about 60% response rates. It's insane. Whoa. But you know why? Like, hey, so the guy on the other end of the email is like, hey, this guy wants a backlink. I'll charge you $200 a year for it. That's why their response rates are so incredible. But so what I'm trying to say is that realistically, if they're willing to pay for it, their site is not going to be quality enough or high enough quality. It's not going to be relevant enough. And those are the links you want. So if someone's trying to get you to pay for a link, don't just skip over. I don't even respond to those emails. I just delete them from my spreadsheets and they're gone forever at that point. So niche.
That's what we do too. It's very, because if you're thinking about it, it has to be relevant to the reader. And if it's not, and you're just linking it off to something that has nothing to, so if you're talking about bananas and then you want to get that applesauce link, it doesn't make sense within the post, and it just really starts to create a bad user experience, and that's what we're all about. User experience, making quality content, because if you start spamming people, then all those links that you're pulling in, all that hard work is going to it's going to diminish. So
completely.
Yeah, good talk. Anything else you wanted to go over, or I mean,
nothing comes to mind. Just make sure that it's all founded around great content. Because every time I've done an outreach with poor content or questionable content, if I've had to question a piece of, if I've had to question the, what's the word? If I've just had to question whether or not this content is good enough to generate backlinks, 90+% of the time that I've done outreaches for those pieces of content, it's flopped. So if you have to question it, just make it better and just do it. So
and I think that's a good practice just in general. It's like, well, would I link to this content that I'm creating? If you personally wouldn't link to your own content, then you need to go fix it. You need to do something better, right? Totally. And that's a lot of times we'll get clients that come in, oh, look, I did this blog post, and it's like, you got to do better. You got to do something better. I would not link to your blog post on my blog, so you need to go fix it. And obviously, we give them, pointers and things, but it's all about quality content, all about doing what's best for your audience. And if the links work, great. If they don't, they don't, and go on to the next thing that actually adds value. So
and
good.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
There's been times that I've had one client in particular. He insisted, and the only reason I did it is because, like, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this campaign for you, but I told him upfront, I'm going to charge you triple the amount because it's going to flop, and it's going to take a lot of my time. I'm not going to see any benefits from it. And if you want me to do it 3 times the amount, I told him right to his face. He paid me.
Okay, then I'll do it. Okay.
Right? So the post was, I didn't have any say in the post. Not that I feel like I have to have a say in the post, but I didn't have the post didn't meet my personal standards for qualifying for an outreach campaign. It was clearly geared for. It was I don't remember his keyword, but his keyword was all over the post. The pictures were terrible. I mean, the design of the site was decent, but the post was clearly structured and built only for SEO purposes. And he paid me. I did the outreach. I did it as good as I could. What happened? I think I actually got one backlink, but it was from a site. Still,
so really didn't do much for him from a traffic standpoint.
Really, exactly. And so, but then there's other times that Brian Harris of Video Fruit, this guy is amazing. Not only does he love what he does for a living, which is videofruit.com, but he genuinely, what's the word? He tries to add value because it's something that is just coming from him. He doesn't want to, he's not, when he's creating this content, he's not doing it for Google. He's doing it for his readers. And he knows that if he has good quality content and his readers are going to love it, they're going to keep coming back. They're going to keep telling other people naturally and organically, like the purple cow on the side of the road. Are you going to stop by and tell other people about another brown cow you saw? Or are you going to tell people about a vibrant, glowing, floating purple cow, right? And so if you can naturally, if you can find it in yourself to just want to add value. And like I've worked for Noah Kagan, right? The guy is awesome. Anytime I'm part of his monthly email 1K course on how to grow a business, and being a part of that, you have access to a certain degree to Noah. And so I have his email. Occasionally I'll ask him questions, and sometimes he'll give me short, brief answers. But then there's other times you can tell he spent a solid 30 plus minutes, and this guy makes millions. And he took 30 minutes of his day to respond to me on this amazingly detailed email, just helping me out. Why? It didn't get anything from him. But I mean, now long term, I just gave him a plug. I've linked to him. I've so on and so forth, added value in what ways I can. But he genuinely wanted to help me. And because of that, I have given him thousands of dollars in all, like the products I've bought from AppSumo and so forth, because I see that he's genuinely trying to add value versus this one guy who paid me 3 times the amount who just wanted it for SEO purposes.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's all about value, creating that customer long term, and and good things happen, right? I mean, if you're doing it out of for the right reasons, good things happen. So, and that's what we tell our clients: create the good content, create the quality content. Links happen naturally. We can do some, we can push it a little bit, but for the most part, it's like, hey, let's just go at this organically and see what happens. So fantastic. I think this was a great backlink overview for anyone that is looking at what are backlinks, and the strategies you put out there are fantastic. So appreciate your time, Keith. And if you have anything else to say, let me know. If not, we'll sign off and do it again some other time.
Cool beans. Sounds like a plan.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Later, dude.